Off.
Hey, Coach.
I
Can't hear.
can't.
How's it going? It looked like these players had played together for a couple of years, the way they came out in that second half. Obviously, the contributions you got offensively from Alana and Courtney were huge, but just talk about the defense starting from about midway through the third quarter through the game.
Yeah, we were a little disappointed just in terms of our paint coverage. Obviously, the 30 points in the first half, points in the paint were just not what we were after, and it probably took us till midway through the third quarter to really understand where we needed to be and how they were getting the easy stuff. And um, once we corrected that and got a little bit harder for them to score in the paint, we were able to, force into maybe a little bit harder shots. Um, I thought we wore them down a little bit. Some of their players that play heavy minutes were, having to do hard things. So that's about when we hit our stride, and we were able to. I think we converted a couple of those. That's the other thing we're trying to do is the stops and the score, and trying to get those conversions, and we did that in that stretch.
Just talk about I think Alana, that was a career high for her tonight in points and just the stats across the board for Courtney.
Yeah, even Atlanta's across the board stats, played darn near 36 minutes in a really hard game. I mean, the front court for both teams really played. With their front court getting 35, their starters, and ours getting 42. I mean, that's those four players were really good. But Land was filled at 3-point line, got the foul, and got rebounded. 4 block shots. I mean, so she did a number of things well. And you talked about Court. I mean, Courtney's I believe just a second Lynx player to get this line of 10 plus points, 5 plus rebounds, 7 plus assists, or 5 plus assists, whatever it is, 5 plus steals. So really impressive stat line for her. At the top of the offense. And I thought Natisha Heidemann's minutes, I thought BC's minutes were really good. Natisha's minutes really important, particularly in the second half. She ended up having 5 assists, and so it was a lot of contributions at different times. And I thought Diamond's third quarter, was the better part of her minutes as well.
Terry?
Hey, Coach, congratulations. I was going to ask about Natisha. Just you mentioned being able to come off the bench and dish out 5 assists, converter only 3. Just impacted the game in a lot of ways. We've talked about the things she can do throughout training camp. But does it feel like a type of dynamic that you haven't had last year or even in the last couple of years that she's able to provide in that role?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're at the point now where we don't need to talk about the years past. I think let's just really lock in on, what these players are doing. I think in the chemistry, that they formed pretty quickly. I thought Natisha's ball pressure, we talked about that, right, when we acquired her, that that's something we're really asking for from her. And I thought she was very hard to play against and really was competing and, just making life hard, for the person that was trying to run the offense. And she had a couple nice possessions offensively where she was seeking the paint, got to the rim. She had a nice wing to corner pass with a basket cut that led to a layup. Her minutes were big, and probably could have gone a little longer in the fourth before I went back to Courtney because T was playing fine, but yeah, I mean, I liked the point guard combinations of Courtney and T, like they give you something different.
Obviously, the expectations for Fee this season are sky high. Just I know it's only one game, but just how did you assess her night, especially playing with players like Lan and Courtney?
Yeah,
See them in regular season action together.
I thought Fee was really good. She's just one of those players that, as hard as it is, as hard as maybe calls weren't necessarily going, our forwards way. I thought NECA Ezzy were pretty physical, and we needed to learn, that we had to be physically tough. And I thought that Fee sort of found her way in this game, and how to use that against an opponent. And obviously, Fee knows how to do that, but kind of doing it in a game situation for the first time this season. 12 rebounds, and a couple block shots, and a steal, and you know, she was pretty darn good.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome. Anything else? All right. Good night, y'all. See you soon.
Who would like to start off with Lan?
Yeah, I believe that was a career high for you tonight. And it was right from the very start. Can you just talk about what the key was to your quick start and whether or not you're surprised at how quickly all the new players and new faces kind of gelled tonight?
Yeah, I think we're just like a very well put together team. I think credit to the big dogs up top who worked in the off season. We have really, really good people. My teammates are good people, coaches are great people, admin great people. And it just makes it easy to have a baseline of chemistry when you're working with people that you like to work with. And then it makes it easy for you to succeed. So I think tonight was just an example of, just like a group of really good people working together, and you see people succeed. Like myself or Fee had a great game. I think Courtney had a really, really good game. I thought Natisha played amazing too. So yeah, I think it's just it was a fun first outing.
Obviously, you played with Courtney all last year, so you've seen what she can do. But what a line tonight! Just the steals, the assists, the points. I mean, have you seen her play better? I mean, is one of the first best games you've seen her play?
I think Courtney really held it down for Chicago last year in terms of just being that point guard presence that we needed. So it's no surprise that she pulls out a stat line like this in the first game of the season. You saw what she could do last year, and she's just continuing to do the same thing, if not better, this year. So no surprises there from Courtney. I expect the stat line every night.
And for Fee, Cheryl worked pretty hard in the off season to add players to this roster, and at least for tonight, just about every move she made looks like it paid dividends. Can you just talk about just how quickly you guys seem to kind of come together and what you saw in Courtney, Alana, and Natisha?
Yeah, it's been really fun. I mean, the impact that they've had right away has just been phenomenal. And I think our team is gelled right away from the beginning too. I think our personalities are just like they mesh really well together. Everyone is so willing to learn and so willing to do whatever it takes to help the team. Lan obviously had a phenomenal game tonight, and this is the exact reason that I was excited to play with her and why we sat down in Turkey because this is exactly how it was playing against her. It's really hard because she does rebounding, she scores, she's aggressive, she's strong, and that's what I wanted in a teammate. So it's definitely no surprise that she came out and did that tonight. It's really fun to watch. And same with Courtney. She had, I think it was like the second person in Lynx history with the stat line. T did phenomenal tonight. I think just like their first, official game as a Lynx, I think it went really well. So I'm excited to see the rest of the season.
For both of you, we've heard pretty much all training camp and preseason how far ahead you think the defense has been, how just confident you guys have been on that end of the floor. And after that first quarter, Seattle really struggled to get anything going. How do you assess your performance on the defensive end tonight? And I think it's probably fair to say you guys expected you could play like that, but just sort of how excited are you to put a performance like that on the defensive end here in game one?
I think it's really exciting. We started off a little bit slow, I think, but after we made those adjustments, it felt really, really great. Just scrambling for each other, doing great out of those situations. I mean, Seattle's a good team, and I feel like we really kind of shut them down in the second half, especially just covering down for each other, really working as a unit. So when we're doing that, it's really fun, and I think we saw that, especially in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I think we put in a lot of work in training camp and focused on defense, and it's something that we've all bought into as well. We want to be a great defensive team, and we're willing to make sacrifices for each other too. I think that we help each other really well, and that comes down to chemistry too. I think we've already got a really good level of chemistry defensively too. Like I remember helping over in BC, being there behind me to help immediately. Like that's what you want from a team, and to have that the first game of the season, it's just really, really promising.
And then last one from me, getting the chance to now come back to Minnesota and get to play a home opener in front of the fans. Fee, I know you've gotten that experience before. Land, this will be your first time doing it, but just now that training camp is in the rear view, this first road game is in the rear view. How exciting is it to have that home opening game in front of the hometown fans? Just sort of the next thing on the agenda.
It's really exciting. I think it's going to be really hard. I mean, playing a team back to back, especially a good team, especially when we just beat them at their house, they're going to come out ready, like swinging on Friday. So we have to make sure what happened tonight in their home opener doesn't happen to us. So as Cheryl said in the locker room, both teams are going to make adjustments. But it's always nice to have the Lynx fan as our sixth man on the court with us. So being in front of the home crowd is really fun, but we definitely have to come ready to play.
Yeah, I would just say that playing in Minnesota has always been really tough. Like being the opposition, playing at in mini, yeah, you can really feel the fans, and so being able to be on that side of it and having the fans behind you in that environment, I'm super keen. I think it's going to be really, really fun, and like they said, it's going to be a lot of hard work, but we're really excited to show what we can do on our home floor.
I have one last question. You guys were down, I think, 5 early in the third quarter, and I think from there until you guys went up 16, it was like a 31-10 run. How much of that was just purely just really good defense on your end and making that into your offense, or how much of that was just the offense really getting on a roll?
I think it was our defense. We started getting stops and started taking away the things that, like the pick and roll. They're really good in the pick and roll, and they were just getting so many shots in the paint. I think Cheryl said they had 30 points in the paint in the first half, which is just crazy. So once we started doing that and helping each other down, like I was saying before, getting steals was transferred over to offense. And we're our best when we're playing in transition, getting stops on defense, and then running out. And so once we started doing that, I think we got on a roll and continued to shut them down on defense. So I would definitely say it came from there.
Thank you.
All I can say is defense.
Any final questions?
Yeah.
Hey, Abby, can you, what was the line that Courtney had that is only the second time it's been done?
Oh yeah, I did text it to you too if it's easier to read that way, but she got, so on her 14 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 steals, she's the second Lynx player to hit 10 plus points, 5 plus rebounds, and 7 plus assists, and 5 plus steals. And if you adjust it to like 10, 5, 5, and 5, she's technically the third Lynx player.
Who is the other one?